Hey everyone, Maury Curtis Dunbar here back at Painted Studios. Thanks for coming in and giving me some of your time today. Give me just a second. Let me load up my screens and all that the way I need to. There we go. Let's see if I was smart and I did turn my volume down. Yay! And we all know I'm not always that smart. Got that screen open. We're going to touch one other screen just so I can zoom in as needed, but we don't need to zoom in right now. You don't need to see me up that close. So first I'm going to share how yesterday's projects came out. They're super cute. Oh, let me touch something else on my screen so I can see comments if you all have any. So here is the Christmas tag that we did with the glass bead gel, where we put silver glass beads and silver glitter in here. First of all, it's so cute. I just need to put some ribbons on it and get it all completed. I don't know, I'm not sure if the glare is working on this, but it is glittery. And you can see that it's got some thickness because we used a heavier stencil. So if you look at it from the side, you can see it's got some thickness. I may take some silver paint and just touch up these edges because they're a little rough looking to me. And then here is our wreath. Earlier today, or actually after we finished up last night, I painted the ribbon here, and I'm sort of trying to decide if I'm actually going to put in a real ribbon over this, but for a flat sign I don't have to. And then I took some of the flocking, like I talked about from Michael's. You just get it, it's like 99 cents a bag. Put some foil adhesive around the edges and then fluffed some flocking on. So let me see if you can get this. Again, the lights are pretty bright right now, so it wants to bounce a little glare. Let me see there. If I turn the light, that helps. So that came out. And then you can see our little glittery pine branches in here that we did with the glass bead gel and the glitter and everything else. So this came out super, super cute, and I'm very pleased with it. The flocking, I would say, does not make it a great outdoor choice because the flocking, even when it's done well, like we've done here, it's fluffy and it may want to blow off, so you may end up with very little left, even though it's stuck to the foil adhesive. It's just the nature of it. Hey Janice, nice to see you here. So I just wanted to share those two projects because I completed them yesterday. Again, like I said, just have to throw some ribbons on and do that. Now, y'all know I'm a gilder. It's not a big secret. And we worked on this piece once before, and I was trying the water gilding on our new product Gesso from Kate Whitson, and I tried it after I sanded it. Well, what I did when I sanded it is I opened up the pores, so as you can see, the gold did not adhere well. I took some time, got some very good, very extensive learning done on this, and we're going to try applying with 3 different sizes plus water gilding on here, so that I can show you how each of these work, and that the gesso works with all of them if you do them the correct way. Now, gesso is similar to, and it's spelled G-E-S-S-A-U-X. It is a combination of gesso and a bowl-like product. There used to be one made like it in France. However, the preservatives, it was casein based, the preservatives in it were incredibly toxic, so it came off the market. Whitson's redeveloped it in a very clean formula. It's film forming. It's really lovely to work with. Sands like a dream. And I'm going to flip the camera down. We'll do a little zoom in and we'll talk about each way I've set things up here. All right, let's do this. And then let's zoom in a bit. So this thing is something I picked up when I was in Cape Cod. It was probably for a table leg because it's got turned ends, turned for screws on either end here. But I thought I'd make them into candlesticks. Well, you know, genius me, sometimes I look before I leap. So here I had sanded the gesso and then water gilded right over it. Well, that didn't work very well because the pores were open, the water gilding, or Gilder's liquor, which is what's in this container, which is a combination of gelatin and water and gelatin sticking on the side, so, and then a little spritz of alcohol to help it evaporate quicker. It soaked right in, and then there was nothing there to bond the gold. What I found out is if you look right here, this is very, very shiny. When you do this, like you do with water gilding, you burnish the material. So there's an unburnished one here, but I don't want to burnish that because this has not been sanded either, and I just want to test the water gilding over the unsanded to see what the film does. What you're doing when you burnish it is you come in, you take your gesso product that's been applied, however many layers, you come in, and I want to sand a lot of this very carefully because I've got other size that's already set up here. You sand it, and it comes off like a very, very fine mineral powder, and then you use an agate burnisher or something along those lines. This is a dog's tooth agate burnisher, and you come in and you rub, and as you rub, you're compressing the minerals in here and creating a hard, smooth, compressed, poreless, shiny surface. So if you look right here, let me see if I can get this to zoom in even closer. If you look right here, it's shiny where I've been rubbing on it. I can see if it'll catch the light for you to see that it's shiny. Turn my light back over here so we see a little better. But it gets a little darker and it gets a little shinier. And what this is doing is compressing these minerals to make a poreless surface. And I've done this whole area down the sides here. You can see that this is shiny. I'm not going to go further on that end piece. I don't need to. I just wanted to demonstrate what burnishing was. Here we have the gesso unsanded, so it has its film. I haven't broken through it. I'm going to test water gilding on that. I don't expect it to be successful. And then we're going to try several different mordant gilding, oil-based or adhesive-based sizes. Now, this one is our Roberson's. As you can see, it's probably the least shiny of the three sizes. This is Duck's most common oil-based size, gold leaf size here in the US. And then I brought in the Minetti, which is supposed to be amazing, and this may be the product that I start carrying. I've talked to people, I've already talked to the US distributor for it, and as you can see, it turns out that our Roberson's is the least shiny and the Minetti is the most shiny. Now these two are what's called 3-hour size, which means it takes about an hour to 3 hours to set up to tack, and then you have about 6 hours of work time. There is 12-hour size. That's a lot longer conversation and it's a lot longer open time. We don't have to get into that. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to open this back up a little bit. I've got my Gilder's pad. I am going to grab, now again, you know I have this gold that I got from God only knows where. I want to probably say Etsy years ago, and it's not quite as smooth as the Italian gold that I get from Minetti that comes in the larger packs, but I'm trying to use this up because I have it. The next thing I'm going to do is take a little tiny bit of Vaseline. If you're an oily skin person, you don't need to do this. I am an extremely dry skin person. So you're going to take the Vaseline, you're going to rub it on your arm, and you're going to rub it in well. If you're an oily skin person, you can just skip this and you'll be able to rub the tip, which is the next thing I'll show you, against your jawline, and it will pick up the gold. That doesn't work for me. I am way too dry skinned. even with cosmetics on, which I don't want to use it with anyway, because the cosmetics have the ability to change the color of tarnishable metals. Okay, so here's some gold. We're going to put it right here on our pad, if it'll come off. This is a Gilder's tip. It's very thin, very fine. I have Gilder's tips in all kinds of sizes. I have some that are squirrel. I have one that's sable. I have badger hair ones, and they're different for the different metals. But as a general rule, I can use just a squirrel hair one. Now, you take the tip, you rub it against the oily part of your face if you need to, or against the Vaseline. You're not going crazy with this. You don't want a lot of this on here, because if you get a lot on here, your gold doesn't come off. It sticks to the tip, and you use it to pick the gold up. So here is the Manetti gold leaf size, the oil-based, and we're going to apply just like that. Now I've gilded this. I put the size on two sides, and we'll do both sides just because I want a full feeling for how this works. Now, like I said, I've had this gold leaf forever. It's the weirdest stuff I've ever had. I'm not even 100% convinced that it is real gold, other than I've never had it tarnish on me. But it's thicker than what I'm used to, so I can actually do something like pick it up with my finger, which is weird to me. So I'm not even convinced that I've got real gold here, that this isn't composition. I shouldn't be able to pick this up and drop it. It should just be sort of melting in my fingers. But I'm going to do this since I can. All right, we're going to take these pieces and we're going to do this one, which is the ducks. Now, how do I know what's what? I did little markings on the back here, so I always know what I've got going on. I wanted to make sure that I didn't mistake anything. So, okay, I'm going to get some of that. Yeah, this stuff is lifting like it's composition gold, so let's get that here. We're going to flop that over, tuck that down, and then I'm going to take another piece. Tuck that on this side, and as you notice, I didn't do the spindles in between, and I did that for a specific reason, so I can see a good clear delineation. And this is our Roberson size. This is a water-based size. You don't get the same glossiness with it. It just doesn't work that way. This one's not to come off of there. I don't know. So we're going to put this over the Robersons. Now, I have always said I'm kind of a messy gilder, so if I can make something look good, anybody can. So these are all our adhesives, as opposed to doing it with water, with a gelatin size or Gilder's liquor, which is made of water and gelatin and alcohol. So now these two we're going to use the Gilder's liquor on. This is the gesso product without any burnishing at all, and I don't expect it to hold on. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Donna and Carrie and Janice. Thank you all for popping in. All right, let's take this. Now, what I'm going to do, this is our Gilder's liquor. I stir it up because I want to make sure the alcohol's stirred and all the gelatin's dissolved and everything in there. And when you use gelatin, it's not like you use Knox gelatin. There are specific sizes, there are capsules, or there are sheets of diamonds that you use. So you get a consistent amount appropriate for what you're using. And you want this to be, I was taught originally to use distilled water, but you can, at least for demoing, you can just use tap water and it's boiled, and then you put it over the gelatin and let it dissolve. So here, this is the gesso that is not burnished, our gesso product that is not burnished. Take some gold here. And again, because I don't think this is going to do what I want it to do, but it's worth a try, because I want to try everything to know what does and doesn't work well. I'm going to take another piece of gold here. Whether it's real or not, I don't know. I'm winging it at this point. I'm just guessing, but I didn't feel like pulling open another packet. So here we're going to put the water-based Gilder's liquor right here. Okay, that goes on. And see, it looks like it's grabbing onto it nicely. However, once that water that's and gelatin mixture that's there evaporates, I don't know if it will stay on here, because the gesso is porous even though it says it's film forming. This is the spot that I'm really testing for the water gilding. I have burnished the living daylights out of this so that we get a nice compressed surface. I'm going to put the Gilder's liquor on here. And that lays down, and that I can just see from the way this is sucking down to the surface here, it's already a different feel. So I think we should be very successful with this. So there's doing this. And water gilding is a very, very old technique. So it's just a matter of getting it done and getting it right on this. And like I said, I am a messy gilder. So if I can make it look good, anybody can make it look good. And I love doing this. So these two will have to sit and dry. These three, however, I can come in and I can clean up. So let me put my tip to the side. And I don't know where I put it. Hang on a second. This is a skewings brush. This is a fairly large one. I don't normally need one this big, but it just happened to be the one that I could reach for. So these three, I'm going to come in and I'm going to tap down. What on earth did I do? I'm going to come in, tap down my gold. Oh, well, here's a learning. This is a learning curve. Okay, this is the ducks. The ducks would want a second coat of our size on here. It sucked right in. It didn't love it. However, it's liking the Robersons. Watch, I can do this with my fingers. This is the Robersons, no problem. Taken to the Robersons perfectly. This is the Manetti. It's taking the Manetti beautifully. It didn't like the ducks. The ducks soaked right into that, and we're getting next to no adhesion. That's very interesting. I would have, if I was using ducks on this, I'd need a second coat. That's very good to know. This is a little sticky here. I may not have let it set up long enough, but look at how beautiful it is right here over the Manetti size, which is perfect because the Manetti size is the one I wanted to bring in. And we're going to use the Manetti size to do our big Roman or bigger Roman style bust. That's very good to know. I am very happy to know this. Again, these are things that you have to, this is why I do testing, because look at how it really, the ducks, which is very common here in the US to use, it would have needed a second coat. It just sucked right in. I prepped all of these the same way. I sanded them, and that's all I did. I put the Robersons on here, took it no problem. I put the Minetti on here, took it beautifully. I put the ducks on here, it didn't work. Look at how it just shed all that gold. Wow, that's good to know, which means that if I bring in if I'm using the Minetti, I need only half the product that I would need for the ducks because I didn't need a second coat. That's very good to know. This is why I do these tests. Now, these two, they need to dry for several hours. We can't do anything with them. I can't come back. I can't check the burnish, but I can see how nicely this is sucking down on here. So hopefully we will find out how well or how badly I did this tomorrow. So this is not a long live today, guys. This was playing with this stuff. This was showing you yesterday's yesterday's successful projects and seeing how this works. This is really important. This is why I do the testing, and I do it live so you can see what the failures and the successes are. Excuse me. I suddenly have a little bit, I probably inhaled a piece of gold. So this is why I do this testing. I don't carry any of the oil-based sizes right now, and I was looking to bring one in, and I'd heard wonderful things about the Minetti, and let me tell you, already I'm seeing a big difference. Because if I can use the Minetti beautifully over this gesso product without having a second coat it and without having to burnish it, that's a big deal. Now, if I burnished this and put the ducks over it, I'm sure it would work well, but I want to know how, honestly, I want to know how lazy I can be and have it still be successful, and that's important. So I've used ducks for years, but I've never used it over a product that might be porous. So that's a very important thing to figure out. So, of course, if you have any questions, if I'm not making sense to you about any of this, ask the questions. Because I may be speaking what boils down to gibberish to you because I've been gilding for a long time. I've been applying gold leaf to all kinds of surfaces. Do not hesitate to post a question. I don't know if all the time I'm making sense when I know what I'm saying. Just because I know what I'm saying doesn't mean I'm making it clear to you. So if you want to know more about this, of course, I will post the results tomorrow as well from all of this. So we will see how all of it worked. And I think we're going to be very pleasantly surprised with the way the Minetti has worked and with the way burnishing it and then applying water-based size has worked. I think both of these are going to be a very good thing. All right, everybody, short live today. Have a great afternoon. I got paperwork to do and I've got gold leaf mess to clean up. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.